Bonjour à tous.
Hi everyone.
Janvier 2025.
On the 20th of January 2025, Donald Trump,
Au bureau de sa Maison Blanche,
in the Oval Office
prend un décret.
in the White House, took a decree
Le golfe du
and
Mexique
decided that
va s'appeler
the
Gulf of America.
Gulf of Mexico would call the
Le 11
Gulf of America. On the 11th of January 2025, Google decided
inscrire ce nouveau nom
to write this new name in its
utilisé par 2
maps in Google Maps, used
milliards
by 2 billion
dans le monde.
of users
Je crois qu'on a tous
in
été
the world.
à ce
I
moment-là
think
par
we've all been seized by a strange feeling,
tout à coup, il y a quelque chose
as if
qui changeait.
something in our life was changing without any intention from us.
On a résisté un petit peu.
We have resisted
Peut-être que
a little
dans
bit,
quelques années,
but
on y
maybe
pensera
that in a few years we won't think about it anymore and it will be called
Si on y
the Gulf of America. By the way, if we think about it,
réfléchit elle-même.
and if we want
L'Amérique,
think about America itself, we know that America is called America because in 1507 a
des
team
Vosges, dont un jeune mathématicien
from Saint-Dié-des-Vosges, among which a young mathematician, a 27-year-old mathematician,
cartographie de
decided to create the cartographia from Ptolemy, to update it, that was from the year 150. And when they decided to update that, they
pensait que
thought that they had to give a name to this continent, and they decided to call it America because they thought that Amerigo Vespucci had
donc finalement
discovered this land.
le golfe du Mexique,
So,
le golfe
after
de
all,
l'Amérique,
is it Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of Columbus, Gulf of America? I am
général de
Christian Sangano. I am the director of IGN, which is the French Institute of Cartography.
J'ai voulu commencer par cette anecdote.
If I wanted to start with this story, it is to remind us that truth,
Vérité.
or in plural, are built.
Et ici, je vais faire appel à un
And
grand philosophe,
here I will quote a great philosopher
père d'année,
who died a few years ago, Bruno Latour, a great French philosopher
sur la question de la
who
production
worked
de la vérité,
on the production of truth,
mode de production
of
de la
the
vérité.
methods of productions
C'est qu'il y a plusieurs modes.
production of truth. And he explains us that there are several methods.
Je vais vous en donner quelques
He
exemples.
calls that the veridication.
Premier mode de production de la
I'll
vérité,
give you some examples.
qui est pour nous
The
la
first
vérité scientifique.
word is the scientific truth.
Parce qu'il y a
If
une
I ask you
transformée en ondes électromagnétiques
to explain why wave is transformed into electricity and so on, it is
vérité.
scientific truth. But we could also talk about other truth,
La vérité,
the economic truth, that makes that a company
un bilan qui tourne, peut
has
réaliser un
a functioning system, can produce, can gather a team, and can satisfy
peut se parler,
consumers. This is a form of truth. We can also talk about a religious truth.
parler de vérité
You heard me well. We can talk about a religious
religieuse
truth.
qui est vraie.
For Bruno Latour, a religious
La personne à qui elle
speech is true if it transforms the person it is sent to.
voit aussitôt que
So-
différents régimes de vérité
We see immediately that these different forms of truth will raise questions
il y a deux
and also problems.
notamment qui vont se
There are two types of problems that will be raised when we have different forms of truth.
c'est la confusion des
The
régimes.
first one is the confusion between the forms. If on behalf of one form of truth, you want to change the other truth. For example, in cartography, the religious truth during Middle Age in the Christian world, it was that
Évidemment, c'était
the earth was flat and represented Jerusalem on the top. Confusion
de production de
between the modes of production of
en ce nom-là
of
fait
truth.
des guerres saintes,
This is how you launch holy wars,
des primats.
and this is also the base of diktats, saying that the economic truth has to impose itself on the political reality.
avec la
The
vérité,
second problem we have with truth,
avec ces différents régimes de vérité,
with these different regimes of truth,
devient un peu flou
is when
et qu'on arrête
we
de
become a bit lazy and we stop working on it.
ils sont vivants.
These regimes of truth are alive.
Il faut les nourrir. Il faut les
We have to feed them, we have to enrich them,
battre.
and we have to debate on
Bruno
it.
Latour, par exemple,
Bruno Latour
la vérité religieuse des catholiques,
regretted that the religious truth from the Catholics
l'objet de bulles, l'objet de
wasn't the target of debates
textes sont discutés,
where
travaillés, dans lesquels il y a plusieurs courants, plusieurs interprétations.
where there will be different currents, different interpretations.
Dans le monde scientifique,
In the science world, there are
l'hypothèse
different currents, there are hypotheses.
n'est pas toujours d'accord. Il y a
We don't always agree. There are
différents scientifiques.
key conflicts between different scientists.
Et donc, moi, ce à quoi je
So-
voudrais qu'on s'assigne, ou plutôt ce à quoi je voudrais vous inviter,
I'd like to invite you
à fabriquer ensemble de la vérité
to put together a cartographic truth, because the representation of our territory is essential.
Vous connaissez cette expression.
So, expression, the map and the territory.
C'est
It's the name of a
la
book.
République des cartes.
So I'd like to create the Republic of Maps, so that each one of us could
Et inscrit dans une
find some control on what's written on a map, not only a topographic
la carte.
map, but also in the drawings of the map. Each one has to be able to play his role,
Poser
has to be able to compose the territory in which we
la
live.
République des cartes.
This is
Et
the
aujourd'hui,
Republic of Maps.
j'espère
And today,
pouvoir donner envie,
I hope I
participer, chers citoyens cartographiques,
gave you the
cette République des cartes.
impulse to participate in this Republic of Maps. Thank you very much.